video is too gay for kids. In fact, this video won't even show up if you have YouTube's family filters on. This is something that has recently come to the attention of myself and some other LGBT+ content creators, where if you switch on YouTube's filters, then all of our content, or some of our content, completely disappears. We're not sure exactly why this is happening, but it seems to be happening to any videos that focus on sexuality or gender or anything else to do with being LGBT+. For example, if you go into your settings and turn on YouTube's restricted filters and then come back to my channel, you will notice that every single one of my videos disappears except for one. Now, I completely understand if the point of these filters is to protect children, why some of my videos may disappear. There are some videos, a lot of the videos on my channel actually, that focus on some adult themes. There are a lot of videos on my channel where there is an awful lot of swearing and bad language. These things are all things that you can find on my channel. And I do completely appreciate why some of those videos may be picked up by YouTube's filters and deemed not suitable for children. I don't think it would be appropriate for, say, a 6-year-old child to be watching my video with Jackmate, for instance, where I'm showing him my nudes. That is absolutely not appropriate for children, and I completely understand why that may be picked up by the filter and may not get through. However, there are many videos on my channel that do focus on LGBT+ themes that are completely suitable for anyone of any age. There's a video, for instance, about me talking about the importance of gay pride and why we march every single year, and yet somehow that is deemed not suitable for children. There is a video where I was celebrating an amazing gay marriage between two very good friends of mine, and it's just a video capturing the love between two men. Why is that not suitable for children? There is a video that I made in collaboration with Tom Daly with loads of celebrities talking about the things that matter to them and who their pride heroes are. Why is that not suitable for children? This is something that I cannot understand. There is a video, a spoken word video, where I'm talking about the coming out story of how I told my grandmother that I was gay and how she accepted me for that. How on earth is that not suitable for children? If anything, it would be extremely beneficial and helpful for children to see that, especially children who are struggling to deal with their identity, especially to LGBT+ kids. There are even instances of bisexual YouTubers where if you turn the filters on, they suddenly appear to be straight. There are YouTubers like Melanie Murphy and Neon Fiona, and if you go to their channels with the filters on, you can see all the videos of them talking about boys and dating men. All of that stays. There are even videos of them doing things like the boyfriend tag, and all of that stays there, and yet the girlfriend tag and anything talking about them being attracted to women completely disappears. And you may think that this has nothing to do with the content being LGBT+. You may think this is because maybe those videos could be considered adult rated because they're talking about sex and things like that. However, there are sex education videos on YouTube that when you turn the filters on, they remain and they stay there. But any LGBT+ sex education seems to completely disappear. Just a couple of days ago, my friend Rowan Ellis made an incredible video talking about this very topic, and that got an awful lot of media attention, particularly amongst the gay press. Now, Attitude magazine decided to follow up with YouTube to see what their response was on this. And they did reply, a spokesperson at YouTube did reply to this, and I by no means want to bite the hand that feeds me. I love YouTube, but I was very, very, very disappointed by the response. So, which was: restricted mode is an optional feature used by a very small subset of users who want to have a more limited YouTube experience. Some videos that cover subjects like health, politics, and sexuality may not appear for users in institutions that choose to use this feature. Now, not only am I really, really disappointed by that response because it just completely skirts around the issue and does not address it, I'm also disappointed because it seems to be pandering to users and institutions that for whatever reason don't want to see any content that focuses on issues around gender and sexuality. There is absolutely no reason why any individual or organisation should want to cut out all LGBT+ content. Why on earth would they want to separate themselves away from all LGBT+ people? It makes absolutely no sense, and to be honest, I find it offensive, and the fact that YouTube would pander to that and give them a feature where they're able to cut us out and remove us is completely backwards. YouTube is such an unbelievably friendly LGBT plus organisation. I cannot stress that enough. They are incredible. So I really don't understand why suddenly they're taking a massive chunk of people, a massive chunk of wonderful, vibrant people, which is the LGBT plus community, and going, no, to some people don't deem you guys appropriate, so we're going to put filters in place that completely remove you, and then we're completely pandering to these people and making them feel safe and secure on the website. I don't like that at all. It makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. I think all of this stems from the idea that there is something inherently wrong with being LGBT+. There has always been this idea in society that LGBT plus people are the outcasts, they're the misfits. And even in modern day, where we are very accepted, we're gaining more and more acceptance by the day. Even in modern day, I think there is a subset of people, and in their minds, they truly and honestly believe that there is something wrong with us, that we are deviants, that we're sexual deviants. You hear so many people saying, oh, you can't possibly expose children to LGBT plus people. Why? Why can you not expose children to LGBT plus people? We are just normal people living our lives. Just because we don't conform to heteronormative and cisgender normative ideologies doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with us or that we're going to corrupt your children. Honestly, I think when some people imagine a gay couple, their mind instantly goes to penetrative anal sex, and that's all they can think about. They're not thinking about two individual men being in love, being together, and sharing everything else that a relationship means. They just think about the sex. And the same goes for lesbian couples. I think there are a lot of people out there that when they think of lesbians, they don't think of a lovely lesbian couple holding hands and being in love. They think of lesbian sex. And I don't know why we are so over-sexualized, but I think this is a deep-rooted cause of the problem, and why things like these filters that filter out LGBT plus people exist. In Rowan's video, she made this excellent point about transgender people in America and this whole dialogue about them being able to use bathrooms. And there seems to be the same argument being brought up over and over again, is that it's not safe for children, because for some weird reason people assume that transgender people just want to molest children. It doesn't make any sense. There is literally not 1 ounce of logic or evidence behind this kind of thinking, and yet so many people seem to think this way, and it needs to stop. We need to stop overly sexualizing LGBT plus people. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who will continue to argue that children shouldn't be exposed to LGBT plus people because it will confuse them. It will make them think that it'll make the straight kids think that they're gay. It'll make the cisgender kids think that they're transgender. And no, it won't. It absolutely won't, because being gay isn't an idea that is placed into your head. It is something that you inherently know inside you. The same goes for being transgender. It is something that comes from within yourself. No matter what society around you tells you, it is something that you know inside. If anything, the confusing thing for children is growing up and only being exposed to heterosexual people and cisgender people, especially for LGBT plus children. How are they supposed to understand how they feel inside if they're not seeing that around them, if they're not being exposed to LGBT plus people? I knew at 8 years old that I was attracted to boys, and that felt completely normal to me until I realised that everyone around me didn't feel the same way, and I wasn't seeing other gay people. I wasn't being presented to other men who were also attracted to men. Every single thing around me, from the adult role models I had, from the teachers I had, from the movies I watched, to the TV programs I watched, it was man and woman, and that to me was confusing. That is what's confusing. Exposing children to only one way of being is the confusing thing here. Exposing children to LGBT plus people is not going to confuse them. People don't seem to understand why LGBT plus people get so emotional and upset and angry around these ideas, but this is exactly why, because we have all grown up in a world where we haven't felt like we fit in, and that is because of all of these ideas and all of these societal values that so desperately need to change. Yes, we have come such a long way in terms of LGBT plus equality, but the mindsets of people really, really need to change. And things like allowing a filter to filter out LGBT plus people on one of the second biggest search engine in the world is absolutely unacceptable. The response they've given so far is just completely inadequate. Explain to me why anyone would need to filter out sexuality and gender-based content. Explain that to me, because that completely goes over my head and I don't understand it. If it's about protecting children, this isn't protecting children. If anything, it's making things more difficult for them. There are LGBT plus children all around the world who are taking their own lives because they don't feel comfortable with themselves, because of the external pressures society are putting on them, because of bullying, because of them feeling like they don't fit in. For them being able to go onto YouTube and seeing other LGBT plus people, for some people that is a lifeline. That saves lives. So to have a filter in place that would take that away from them is complete and utter nonsense. And I don't understand it, and that's why I'm making this video today. I really, really want to know what your opinions on this are, so please do go down in the comments and let me know what you think. Even if you completely disagree with me, that is completely valid, and I want to hear your input as well. So please do tell me exactly what you think about this and exactly what you think needs to change. And also please do go and check out my friend Rowan, and do go and check out her video, because she's done such an amazing job of spearheading this discussion, and it's so unbelievably important. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I make new LGBT plus content every single week. If you have your family filters on, you will not see any of it, but please do subscribe anyway, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. See ya!